Hello, 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 and welcome to a nail video. Today I am attempting for the first time 3D flowers, and I also wanted to do a little marble situation. But then I saw some inspo pictures, and the girlies in the chrome. I'm a little obsessed, so I bought a bunch of chrome powders to try out on top of trying out this 3D flower. So I painted the base color from the inspo picture, and now I'm putting on the pink holographic. The set of chrome powders I got have holographic and non-holographic colors, which gives me like a whole range of colors to use, different effects I can create. So when I did this first nail, I was like, oh snap, look at how shiny it is, how sparkly. It's amazing. I love glitter. It looks so good. And the chrome powders did come with those little eyeshadow, you know, the one that come in the little fake makeup, them little, I don't even know what they're called. It came with like little makeup sponge things to use, but when I kept looking at videos on Instagram, people were using like silicone instead, and I was like, okay, let me try that, because I tried it with what they provided and it wasn't coming out the way I wanted it to. But if you do it with a little tool with a silicone, I found a pack that has the dotting tool on one side and the silicone tool on the other side. And the silicone one, just do that instead of the little makeup sponge, because it works so much better. It actually covers all of the areas that you want it to. I felt like the makeup sponge did not do a good job getting into my cuticles, because I was doing the whole nail chrome. I was like, there can't be mistakes, and it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give with what they provided me with. So I'm glad I bought the silicone tool. I saw a lot of people using it for chrome powders and for 3D flowers, so I was like, if I'm going to give myself the best shot at being able to do this design, I should probably get the right tools. So I highly recommend that you get something that has a silicone point, angle. I got a pack that had multiple different types. There's a pointed tip, an angled tip, lots of different ones. But I'm just using the, I don't even know what to call this tip. It's just like a horizontal. I can't describe it. But here I'm experimenting a little bit. I'm mixing the black chrome with the holographic chrome, just kind of see what kind of effect I get from that, because I tried to use the black chrome on my middle and ring finger, and it did show up, but I didn't really like the way that it looked. You could kind of barely tell it was chrome, the black on black chrome, so I was like, I don't know if I like using the black chrome, so I experimented on my thumbs. And it kind of mixed together into this like dark magenta-y holographic gray pink color, and I'm a little bit obsessed with that. So I'm definitely going to experiment with different chromes and like mixing chromes, because on the top I have a like mermaid pinkish bluish like duochrome, and then I have the holographic pink, and then the black chrome right beneath it. Now I'm working on the marble. Marble is super easy. Basically I'm just taking black, pink, white, and black. Wait, I already said that, girl. I'm taking pink, white, black, and there was a little jar of like special effect paint, and it has like specks in it. I threw that in there too because I thought the specks would look nice, but I think they got covered by the nail polish mostly, so you can't really see them. But yeah, I'm just putting on those colors pretty haphazardly, And then I'm taking my dotting tool and just dragging it through the paint until I'm satisfied with the swirls. Super easy. You can over swirl though and then kind of lose the colors that you were working with. So I did have to go back after swirling them. I put a top coat because I was afraid of how thick my gel paints are. The Sabiland paints are really good, but they are pots, so they're a bit thicker than like regular gel polish would be. So I just put a quick top coat because I felt like they weren't blending very well and that it looked kind of chunky. So I figured if I did a top coat, maybe it would even itself out. I would get less texture, and that seemed to fix the problem. This is me going back in with different colors that I thought weren't showing up in the marble. I like that I did that. It kind of gives it a bit of a layered look, which is kind of cool. Now, this is me trying to attempt to use these flakies because I thought I liked them, but I ended up taking them off. I did not like them. I did not like the way that they looked. I thought they just didn't fit. They just didn't fit into the design very well. So I did this one nail and then I was like, I don't like it. I took it off, girl. I usually like the little flakies. I think it's just this color. I think it's just this color combined with the chrome and stuff. I just thought it was too much. And like most of my nail sets are too much, but I just felt like it was too much in the wrong way. Like it was just becoming like, usually I use these kind of flakies for geodes or something, and I was just like, I think I picked them out because it was like a very vibrant pink, but that just didn't translate well, so I ended up taking it off. I didn't like it. This is me putting some gemstones on because gemstones are a requirement for every set. Excuse me. Every set. And I just wanted them in like the black area because the pink area is going to be the heart, so I ended up just doing a couple just in the black area so it didn't look so plain. So these are the tools I'm using for my flowers. One is pointed and the other one has like a bit of an angle to it, but it's still pointed. And I'm taking a spatula and getting out a glob of my gel here. It's called solid nail tip gel, but you can use it for 3D flowers and stuff like that too. This is me just preparing my alcohol dipping dish because definitely going to need that to move the gel product around. It makes it a little bit easier. And also just to clean off the holographic powders off these things because they're so finely milled, which shows that it's a good quality chrome powder, but also it gets everywhere. So always clean your tools, especially because I'm working with like a clear gel product. If it had like a tint to it or if it was colored, then I wouldn't have to worry so much about like getting stuff in it. But if you're going to do them clear, make sure that like your hands are very clean and you don't have any chrome powder or anything on them, because that stuff, I had to clean my hands twice because it just wasn't coming out of my cuticles. It just wasn't. So for these 3D flowers, I was looking at a bunch of reels on Instagram about how other nail techs did it, and it's basically just patting it into the leaf shape and then kind of outlining it to lift the gel to make it look more like a petal. Now, if you look at a flower petal, it is not one-dimensional. There are some dimensions to it. There's folds in the petal. There's color variation that goes down the petal sometimes depending on the flower. So I'm wanting it to look as realistic as possible. I'm using the angle tool to kind of make those folds you see in petals, and then I'm using the pointed tool to kind of make everything look smooth and cohesive. It's kind of hard to see because of the clear gel, and honestly I may make a separate reel/tutorial just for the 3D flowers, because I feel like one, I'm not a huge fan of the angle that I chose for this video, and two, I feel like the clear gel makes it hard to see what I'm doing. Here I'm just taking off like a lot of bulk. I felt like maybe I was using too much, and overall I think I did use too much for the flowers. They came out rather large on the last 3 fingers I did, and the first finger I did was probably the size I was aiming for, but it was a little hard to kind of be consistent with the size of petal that I was doing. So I definitely would recommend that you put the gems down first and then the petals, because then you'll have a frame of reference of how big the petals should be compared to where the gems are placed. I felt like since I put the gems on afterwards, I wasn't really doing the best job of being diligent about having a consistent sized petal across all the 4 nails that I did the flower on. So I like this first one the best. I think it looks really good. The other ones I think do look good. I just think they're bigger than I had planned on making them. But I think overall it came out pretty good. I would say difficulty wise, this isn't a difficult skill to learn, especially since with the solid nail glue you can, you can mess with it until you like it and then cure it, which is like the best part of a lot of these products I use, is that I'm a perfectionist and I want it to look good, and I'm gonna like take my sweet time to make that happen. Like, there's a reason why my footage is times 4. It's because I get my Saturdays off and I just sit at my desk and I do my nails because it's fun for me. So I take my sweet time with new stuff like this because I'm like, I don't want it to come out looking a hot mess. I want to give my best effort. So yeah, that first flower had me geeked, bro. I was like, yo, I never did this before and I love it. So I'm putting the gems on. I did like that part of the inspo. So yeah, that's just me placing it. I really don't enjoy this camera angle. I've already bought a different setup so I could do a top down because I feel like my hands are in the way. You can't see too much from this angle, so I'm just like, I'm working with the footage I filmed, okay? And at this point, I'm like, okay, cool. But it's still a clear flower, and you can't see it really. Like, you see what's underneath it versus what's on top. It just kind of looks like a weird blobs on my finger. So in my head, I'm like, these are clear. I guess I should probably paint them. So yeah. Another thing that happened was when I put the gems on, that gave the UV enough time to like just melt, and all the details that I worked on before I put the gems on just kind of disappeared. So I had to go back and basically reshape everything. So that's another reason why you should put the gems first, because the gel can lose its shape, especially since it's warmer. The solid glue, it's still solid, but the flow is definitely going to be different depending on the temperature you're on. So this is me just mixing together a rose pink with some white. I painted the bottom of the petals the rose pink, and then I'm going in with a lighter color. Now at this point, I wasn't sure if I was going to do the chrome or not. I was just painting it because I felt like that looked better than just having it clear. And it does look really cute. I'm definitely going to do, when I was painting it, I was like, ooh, I should do like a sunflower set. So that's definitely something I'm going to do at some point. Try to do this, but with a sunflower. Because I think that'd be so cute. Like a yellow set with sunflowers and butterflies. Ah! Look at how cute that is. Like, you can't tell me that's not a good flower for first try. That's a good flower. It's cute. I'm obsessed with it. Now at this point, I gotta start throwing up gang signs to get the other part of my hand. I cannot tell you all the weird positions I put my hand in just to get stuff done. Somehow this angle was harder. Like, to do versus the first one. And I'm guessing that's just how the way it tilts or whatever. But I used way too much. Way too much compared to the first one. I used so much more of the product, and it didn't come out super bulky, but it's pretty bulky. It's kind of on the edge of being not cute, but it still looks good, so I let it be. I painted these as well. When you're using this product and you want to use the chrome on top of it, you do have to paint the product for the chrome effect to come out properly. And I learned this the hard way because I did these first two nails and then I decided, I actually want to do chrome on top. When I did my third 3D flower, I did not paint it first and I went straight in with the chrome and it just looked like chunky glitter. It didn't look good. So you do have to put something on top of the solid nail gel product for it to be able to get that like gilded chrome effect properly. But like, that was fantastic. I love it so much. It's just now at this point I was like, oh yeah, this is giving me all the energy I need to finish this set, because I've been at this for a while. I told you I'd do this on my day off. I take my time. So this is me trying to like roll the balls beforehand just so I have a bit of a more consistent size for the petals. But I used way too much. Like this is way too much for like one petal. Like this one ball that I'm putting on should be 2 petals. But I'm making it 1 and it became bigger than I wanted it to. It still looks good. It's just bigger. So this is me trying to be smart and put the gems first before starting to shape everything. Which I think is, it worked, but put the gems first and then do the petals because it'll be a lot easier that way. But yeah, as you can see, I'm taking the angled one and I'm pushing down the ball and making the different folds. I'm going around the edges and lifting it up so the petal doesn't look so flat. This angle one is really good at just, like, if you wanted to get one tool, just buy one thing that would, kind of cover all that you need for 3D stuff. I think this angled one with a point is probably the best silicone tool you could use for 3D flowers because it makes the right pleats and things like that. You can see how I'm kind of pressing it to make it look like the petal has folds in it. I know what a flower looks like, that's for sure, after all these years. And I should have took off more. There were points where I took smaller balls of product off because I was like, man, this is kind of a lot. I don't think this looks that great. I should have took more off. See, now this is where I just put the chrome powder straight on and it's not really giving chrome. Like, it's sparkly, but it's not all the way, Like, I like how it looks versus like painted, so I was like, oh, let me try it on this one. And when I put the chrome on this one, that's when I was like, oh, okay, forget painting them pink, I have to do this. Look at how good that looks. It looks like one of those gilded flowers you see on like Victorian mantles or something. Like, I'm obsessed with how that looks. And I'm using the silicone tool that's just a straight point, so I'm able to get into all the crooks and crevices and around the gems too, because it would definitely look weird if the top of the flower was chrome and then you look to the side and it's clear. And that's the end of the set. The beautiful sparkle chrome flowers with the marble is complete. The only thing that I did was I went back over the black area with just straight black because the holographic powder got everywhere. But other than that, I am so happy with how this set came out. Learning a new skill, check. Having bomb ass nails, check. Looking like a bad bitch once again, check. And now I just want to do flowers for all of my sets. Or what if I did butterfly wings? Oh my god. There's so many things that could be done with this 3D nail gel. I can't wait to experiment. Thanks for watching. Bye!